Hello everyone, welcome back to Reading Through the Generations. I'm here filming on the very first day of summer, so I thought what better way to celebrate the solstice than to do my mid-year freakout tag. So I've read a total of 21 books so far this year with many 5-star reads, which made answering the first question a bit tough for me, but the more I reflected on it, I think my most favorite book so far this year is without a doubt These Ghosts Are Family by Maisie Card. This is such an emotional and moving novel about a struggling but resilient family haunted by the past, and I highly recommend this book. Question number 2 is, what was the best sequel you've read so far in 2023? And technically it's not a sequel. I went out of order. It's actually the third installment in the #1 Ladies Detective Agency series, Morality for Beautiful Girls by Alexander McCall Smith. This was really fun, and I adore all the characters and their relationships with one another. Question number 3 is, what's a new release you haven't read yet but you want to? And that would be Bibliolepsy by Gina Apostol. She is one of my most anticipated Filipina authors that I'm really anticipating reading this year. Bibliolepsy is actually her debut novel, which has never been available in the United States until now. And I believe we follow a young woman during the People Power Revolution in the 1980s against the Marcos dictatorship in the Philippines. And we follow this young woman as she kind of has to come to terms with the reality of, this revolution and all the political turmoil with her, her imagination. She really rebels in the written word and loves all her books, and I really am looking forward to reading this. Question number 4 is, what's your most anticipated release for the second half of the year? And I've jumped on the bandwagon with everyone on this, and that is The Last Devil to Die, a Thursday Murder Club mystery by Richard Osman. I think we all are looking forward to this September when it comes out. Question number 5 is, what's your biggest disappointment? And that would unfortunately be The Oxford Murders by Guillermo Martinez. This just wasn't for me. I thought it was going to be a cozy mystery, and it just wasn't that cozy. It gave me a nightmare. Yeah, I really wanted to like this. Number 6 is, what was your biggest surprise? And I have 2 for this one. That would be The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern and My Cousin Rachel by Daphne du Maurier. They're complete polar opposites when it comes to books, but they were so compelling and they kept me up at night. Question number 7, who is your new favorite author? And I have 2 for this one as well. That is Maisie Card and Daphne du Maurier. I really am looking forward to reading more of their books. Question number 8 is, newest fictional crush. That would be Nadia Hussein. I absolutely adore this woman. I read her memoir for Mental Health May, and it just made me fall in love with her even more. I think she's such a resilient woman, very creative. I love all her cooking programs and all her cooking recipe books, which reminds me I have to get her newest one, Nadia's Everyday Baking. So I'm looking forward to that. Question number 9 is, newest favorite character. This is one of my first reads of 2023, The Snow Child by Ewan Ivey. The character I really adored in this was the character of Esther, who becomes Mabel's best friend and really helps her in her struggle and overcoming her grief over her lost child. She's rough around the edges, but has a heart of gold. Question number 10, name a book that made you cry. And that would be Red, White, and Whole by Rajani LaRocca. If you read this, you'll know what scene I'm talking about. I wept when I read it, and I wept all over again when we discussed it for my family's book club. This was, for a middle grade book, it was so moving and heartwarming, and I want to actually read you a quote because this is my most favorite quote from this year. Pete doesn't believe things just because our teacher tells us. He asks lots of questions, so many that he sometimes annoys other kids in class. We talk about what makes a hero, back in the day of King Arthur, and now, fictional and real life. Together we decide that a hero is brave but not without fear. Because if you fear nothing, how can you be brave? Says what they believe is right. Because if you cannot say what you believe in, how much do you believe in it? Works to make the world better. Because doing something is even more important than talking about it. Acts out of love for others. Because caring for other people is the biggest difference between a hero and a villain. How beautiful is that? Oh, love, love. Question number 11. Name a book that made you happy. And that would be Murder at the Palace, or Murder in the Balcony, excuse me, a movie palace mystery by Margaret Dumas. I know it has murder in the title, but it was such a riot. It was so much fun, and I was beaming with happiness whenever I picked it up and read it. Question number 12 is, what was the most beautiful book you've received so far this year? And that would be a book from Aunt Cece, Around the World in 80 Trees by Jonathan Drury, illustrations by Lucille Clark. It's just absolutely stunning, with so many descriptions of trees from all around the world. I love this book. Question number 13. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? Now, at the beginning of the year, I compiled my top 23 of 2023 books that I want to get to. I won't list all of them since there are a number of them that I still need to get to, but I'll list half of the books from that list. So I have 2 from Kazuo Ishiguro, The Remains of the Day and Never Let Me Go. I have Lessons in Chemistry by Bonnie Garmis, Build Your House Around My Body by Violet Cooper-Smith, Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier, The Fifth Season by N.K. Jemisin, and last but not least, Braiding Sweetgrass by Robin Wall Kimmerer. And that's my mid-year freak-out book tag. If you have done this tag and you have a Booktube video or channel, please let me know in the comment section down below. If you don't have a Booktube channel, please let me know what your answers to these questions are, because I love hearing about new books. Thanks so much for spending the afternoon with me. I'll see you next week. Take good care, everyone. Bye-bye.